tried to tell anybody that if they get into a quarterback situation, that you can play a little QB? Have you let them know that?
I think the QB days are over. I played a little bit in high school, but sophomore year. But I'll leave that to DJ and Coach Streeter and the rest of the boys for them to handle that. So
how does being able? I think it was your sophomore year when you played quarterback, right? How does that help you play tight end? How does that help you with this position?
I would just say the preparation. Working a little bit at QB during high school. You just got to know the whole game as a whole. Obviously, the QBs here have to know the whole game as a whole, and I think transferring over to tight end, there's so much that we have to do in general that it's almost like a second QB, because you got to know the pass protections, the run protections, the route game, and I really think that just helping me understand the game as a whole at an early age, and then of course transferring to tight end when I got a little bit older, and then coming here just really being able to prepare and understand the whole game. So
when Braden went out and Davis got ejected, I saw Coach Sweeney came over and said something to you guys. What was his message to you at that point?
He just said, next man up. This is what they always say during team meetings. This is what we're made for. So he said, just be prepared. You put in the preparation, and so it's next man up mentality.
What was it like to get out there and get that first real game action in a competitive game and actually get significant snaps?
It was pretty exciting. I was excited. I just had to tell myself, this is what I came here for. You just got to be prepared. It goes into that preparation that we talk about all week, and going back to mat drills, all the way back in the off season and the winter. It just goes back to that preparation, be mentally tough and being ready for the moment, and really. My foundation with God, I pray every day to give me the strength to give great effort and be able to capitalize on the opportunity. And like a lot of the older guys, like Davis, Braden, Luke Price, I take a lot of information with them. I'm right next to Braden in the locker room, so I'm always trying to get in his ear and ask him what he knows, what's best in this situation. And I think that's one thing when I was in the game. Obviously, Braden, he wasn't able to stay out there because of the protocol, but Davis was able to be out there on the sideline, Luke, and just being able to have those two guys there to talk to him and ask him, like, hey, what are you seeing? What do you see on this? We're getting different defenses. How do you think I should handle this? And just being able to talk to them and to reassure myself that I was doing the right thing was really big, just to have that leadership there on the sideline to kind of help me and go through it. So it was nice.
Play for Tony Elliott, you got to be able to block. Was that one part of your game that you felt like you really needed to work on? Did you feel like you had a good foundation with that? How was your blocking when you got here?
So I did a lot more perimeter blocking in high school. I was usually split out wide, and my senior year I kind of went inside to the slot, played more true tight end compared to my junior year. So I was really used to doing a lot more perimeter blocking and being able to break down, and of course I was lighter back then. I was only like 210, 205. And then coming here, just everybody's bigger, especially when you gotta get the guys in a box. You're talking about DNs that are, some are 290. So, you gotta have good technique. And so I think coming in as a whole, I knew I needed to improve my game, whether that be route running, catching, my vision, and blocking. But I think, I took time with Davis a lot during the off season and a lot of the older guys just to have a better foundation in the blocking. So.
What do you weigh now, and what do you want to weigh ideally?
So right now I'm weighing, I just got on the scale, 230. Ideally I'd like to be at 235, 240, but the course of the season it gets hard to maintain your weight. But 230, some days it fluctuates. Some days I'm 234, so other days I'm 230. So.
Did you have a moment when you got here that you were lined up against KJ or XT or Miles or somebody and you went, yeah, this is a little different?
Yeah, so I remember when I early enrolled before the pandemic hit, I just remember everything was going so fast, and bullets were flying, and I really just remember one time I got ragdolled around, and I wasn't used to that. And I remember just looking back at Coach Pierman, because he was still a tight ends coach at that time, and just looking back at him like what in the world is going on? You know, I just wasn't used to that. And so when that happened, you know, I kind of never wanted that to happen again. You know, I didn't want to get manhandled. So from there on, I made a choice and a priority to make sure that I was going to put myself in the best situation and learn from others and continue to get stronger and understand the blocking game better. So I wasn't, you know, being thrown around by KJ or XT or Maskell. So.
Who did you work under in the fire? Was something you feel like you kind of got better at?
I don't know. I watched a lot of film I just watched a lot of film, just trying to prepare, honestly. And then just being more, you know, using my leverage to my advantage. You know, everybody likes a tall tight end. But with that, you come some curses, and that's you got to get lower than the other guy. And especially when you're 6'4", 6'5", you got to get lower than those linebackers that are, 6'1", 6'2". So it's all about a game of leverage. So I tried to work on, you know, just preparation, film, understanding where they were going to be at, how they attack, and then also just doing some stretching, and also, you know, just keep reminding myself as a mental thing, you know, just get lower, so I can have that better leverage.
What items have you seen from Syracuse defense, and it's something you kind of is planning for?
So far, you know, we just got done with some player-led segments, and, you know, Syracuse does a great job at flying around. You can see with how they just played Wake. They ran a lot of blitzes up the middle to try to stuff that run game, the RPO game that they have, and I think they did a really good job doing that. I really think at the end of the day, we just got to be prepared because they do have a lot of movement. They do a lot of 3-down type of guys, so that gives them the ability to have 4 backers around the box. And I think we got to do tight ends, especially be on our P's and Q's in the passing game when we're pass protecting, and just understand who we got and do a great job communicating with the offensive line. So,
seeing as how this is your second year here, you've already been through a bye week. What did you do this time to try and prepare for the rest of the season?
Last year I went home, so I went to Florida last year, and this year I just stayed here. I see my family almost every weekend. They come up for the game, so I just stayed here, tried to actually relax this time and, you know, just unwind, because the football season's it's a long year, so you gotta have those times where you take time off, and I didn't really want to be doing anything, so I stayed here, and like I said, I watched a lot of film, you know, just trying to prepare myself for the next game. That way I wasn't to a point so far mentally checked that when I came back yesterday I was out of the game. You know, I relaxed, I cooled down, but I also tried to keep my head in the game. So.